Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you have not done so already, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon, and crypto link in the info box below the video. If you'd like to keep up to date with the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate Forum to keep up to date with the community debate. If you'd like to join the discussion, then simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Paul, Flatten Earth, Chris, Chocolate Saying, and Arwin. Good to have you all.
Good afternoon.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Any signs of Earth curvature?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, obstruction at a linear rate versus distance. There's no cumulative drop. No sign of curvature.
Right, axial rotation.
Nah. No.
No?
No Coriolis effect detectable on the stationary Earth. Only lights turning, which we presume or suspect may be ether, but you can't really prove it scientifically. But the Earth, as a presupposed sphere, absolutely not.
About scientific evidence of gravity.
Nope. Nope. Just an aberration.
Nope.
Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
There is no distance to the sun. I think that even Max Planck, sort of between tongue and cheek, stated that there is a false presumption that there are scientific false presumptions about the sun. I think he tried to convey that it's not actually a physical object because it does not have any heat. That was his angle to it. I was amazed when I read this. A quote in a video a few days
Brenda.
back.
You hear us?
Yeah, I can hear.
Good to have you. Any evidence that you can have a gas pressure without a container? Hello, Seaside Ronnie.
Lots of evidence. Lots of evidence.
What's happened, Nathan? Nathan!
Sorry, any evidence that you can have a gas pressure without a container?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes. It's called the Earth.
That's your fundy belief, right?
No, it's
Evidence.
not. It's evidence.
It's called the Earth.
It's evidence.
You're hilarious.
We have an atmospheric column which has pressure. That's evidence that you can have atmospheric pressure without a container.
Well,
Cool.
no, that would
What's
be-
your independent variable?
Hold on, Owen. Well, no, that would be completely the opposite. That would be evidence that there is a container. Because the necessary antecedent
No.
for... I hadn't finished my sentence, Brenda. I didn't talk over you. This is going to be a short visit. So, if I walk outside and you're saying the Earth itself is evidence that you can have gas pressure without a container, I would say no. The necessary antecedent for the gas pressure that you experience would be a container, as I can absolutely demonstrate. If you can demonstrate the contrary, as opposed to asserting your religious belief about what we have in the sky, then I'd like to see a demonstration of gas pressure being maintained without a container. So can you demonstrate that beyond your religious assertion about what Earth is?
Yes.
Excellent. please show us your demonstration of gas pressure being maintained without a container.
Yeah, that is the Earth. The Earth is
I'll
not
say it again.
in a container.
No.
It's not in a container.
That's
it's
a
not in a
fundy
container.
belief. I'll
not
say
a
it
belief.
again. Just
It's not
try
a
and
belief.
listen. Just try and listen. The necessary antecedent for gas pressure is something to press upon. So just declaring that going outside proves your fundy belief would defy the necessary antecedent to have the gas pressure to experience, Brenda. So logically, no. Going outside would prove that there's a container because we've got gas pressure. So it must have something to press on or it wouldn't be there. Now, saying that your fundy belief trumps that does not fly.
Look, you asked for evidence.
Well, it's not.
I offer.
That's evidence that we've got a container. The necessary antecedent
Yeah, it
to
is.
have gas pressure in the first bloody instance. So don't just assert your fundy belief a third time. I'm sick of hearing it. That's not a demonstration of gas pressure without a container. That's your fundy belief about what Earth does.
No, it's not a belief. It's evidence. Because the Earth is not in a container.
That's your fundy belief. How many times have I got to say it? That is your fundy belief. You believe the sky is a vacuum. So we're looking for evidence to back that fundy belief. Not just a reassertion of your bloody fundy belief about it. Yet you believe the sky is a vacuum. Stating that is proof of it and making that it's self-evident isn't, Brenda. Because the necessary antecedent would be something to press upon. That's why we've got pressure. Because it needs something to press on. Don't just assert your fundy belief a fourth time.
It's not a belief. It's a fact. It is a fact that the Earth exists, has air pressure without a container. There's your example.
It's not an example. That's your fundy belief. That's the fifth time I've said it. It's not a demonstration of that.
It is a fact.
So you believe
it is
that the Earth is in a vacuum,
fact.
and that demonstrates that you can have gas pressure without a container. Well, in actuality, Brenda, that's a second law of thermodynamics violation. Because if the Earth was in a vacuum, then the gas would fill the space.
That has nothing to do with the second law. You don't know what the second law even means.
This is not a demonstration of gas pressure.
That would be one of the laws of gases, but that has nothing to do with the second law of thermodynamics. Thermodynamics has absolutely nothing to do with your example. You're just using words that sound big and you don't understand them.
Brenda, could you please tell us what that is?
What is?
The second law of thermodynamics.
No, I'm not interested in her butchering of this. I want to see a demonstration of gas pressure without a container. That's the question on the table. She hasn't got it. She's got a fundy belief. So I'm happy to move past this question, not discuss the second law of thermodynamics with a bonehead who keeps asserting her fundy belief. Not interested. I'm sorry, Chocolate.
It's not a belief. It's a fact.
Yeah,
it's a fact. It's
just
not my
state
belief.
it.
It's a fact.
It's a second law of thermodynamics violation. Entropy. The gas would fill the available space. And if you're saying that there's no container, then there's nothing for it to press upon. So it's not self-evident. It's not I go outside and that proves we don't have a container containing the gas. Quite the contrary. The fact we have gas pressure would demonstrate to me that there's something containing that gas pressure. Not the opposite, because you've got a fundy belief about it.
That's a
Brenda,
it's a
stop it.
Fallacy.
Stop asserting your fundy belief. You're pissing me right off. Stop it. I'm not going to hear it for a sixth time. I don't care about your fundy belief. I care about a demonstration that backs up your fundy belief. Okay?
Yeah, the Earth is...
just sod off, right? You do it, a seventh time and I'm going to kick you the hell out. Stop asserting your religious belief.
It's not a belief, it's a fact.
That's it. I'm not going to have it 7 times. Piss off. Get out.
You can...
Get out. Don't come here, you fundy, and assert your same belief 7 times. The question on the table is, can you have gas pressure without a container? Saying, oh, well, the Earth does that. What? That's the whole point of the question, isn't it? About your fundy belief in Earth. You think the sky is a vacuum, defying the second law. The gas would fill that space. The energy would disperse. The work would decrease. The energy it has would fill that vacuum instantaneously. So don't just say, well, we do have a vacuum. That's my proof. You stupid bitch.
Yeah.
Is there any evidence that we can have a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
No. Lots of paintings, couple of scans, presuming that the Earth is a sphere and there is a molten iron core. So no. No.
And last but not least, any evidence of the presuppositional R value? Earth radius, gentlemen. Anybody? Anybody at all? Wow, keen guys. Unless Brenda's sniped you all.
No. I'm
Nope.
just thinking.
Just thinking, where can I find evidence of R?
Well, the only place I can really find it is in the core foundations of what the ballers presume. That's really the only place it exists. They trust on it, they have no proof for it. It's a concept, and they lean on that concept heavily. That's it.
Cool, well that concludes the housekeeping. Go ahead, Paul.
I was gonna say she was using the presupposition to prove her presupposition. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, I just can't stand it. You know, there's only so many times I'm prepared to do it. So if anybody feels I've been unjust in kicking somebody out for asserting their fundy belief 7 times, then tough luck.
Right, Jose's back.
Hey, Jose.
Hey, Nathan.
Please don't kick
like
him
to
out,
present-
there's no need. I'd much rather have Jose's trolling than Brenda's fundy belief asserted 7 times.
Hey, Nathan. I'd like to present something real fast. In fact,
Yeah,
I'm glad Jose joined.
Excellent. This sounds good.
If I can do that.
Yeah.
So I was watching a video yesterday. So I have to admit this isn't my video or observation. So take that for what it's worth. But it's from a channel called Flat or Globe ? It was actually posted in 2016. So I can share the link and all that. But what I did was I took 2 screenshots from his video at 2 different times. So let me do a screen share. And then am I on?
Showing your bookmarks.
Jose, come
Am
on.
I on?
Come on, man. Give me a
I had to do
break.
it.
Give me a break, man. Come on.
Come on, Chris is...
Let's see.
Chris, really? No. Chris is one of
I'm
the
looking
most
forward to
decent fellows I've ever met.
Shut up, Chris.
Don't let this
Okay.
conversation descend,
So-
please.
Well, I don't know. I don't have any bookmarks.
You're on, Chris. You're on.
So, all right. So the video is, the observation is, I don't know, some many miles away across a body of water. This top snippet that I took is through a telescope, and what happened is he captured this, say, sometime in the morning. And he said he noticed that, and he had multiple cameras set up, a telescope and like another camera, I think, set up. And he says he noticed as the day went on that everything started clearing up, and all the reflections and all the refraction and all that stuff, the miraging went away. And he says that this is the exact same object as this. But look at the clarity and look at everything you can see at the base of the location. Whereas here, see, this is the exact same thing that we see a lot of people say, well, look, you can see the top of this object or maybe half of it. And then down here, it's sort of cut off by, right, the quote unquote horizon. And then they leave it at that, and they either never go back or they go back and get the same conditions. Well, this guy was lucky enough to sit on the same day, just minutes later, say 30 minutes after this was taken, to get this view. This is the phenomena. We have atmospheric distortion, refraction, and miraging causing obstruction. And then if you get it actually on an actual clear day or clear time, you get this. That's really all I have to say. It's pretty clear. It's pretty obvious. I mean, we know this top happens. We know we have obstruction due to miraging and refraction type effects. We don't know we have obstruction due to curvature. We know we have obstruction due to this. So my point is, this has been proven time and time again. And then you see the whole building, or pretty much the whole building, as far as I can tell. There's things on the left and things on the right that clearly you can't see up here. And you would say, oh, it's over this little pylon thing, this little block here that you can't see here is behind the curve. Well, no, it's behind the mirage zone. And then here you can see pretty much everything. So that's it.
Yeah, it's akin to Skunk Bay and some of the footage that Travis has been taken. So when you take it over a prolonged period, you see that, I'm sure Ben, Taboo Conspiracy also has highlighted this on a few occasions. You can't take one snapshot of the day. It's hugely variable for a number of different reasons. But, you know, that's where we have Texas sharpshooter fallacy from the globe side and many of the instances that they present. You know, they'll take one frame from one day and say, here you go, this proves Earth curve. It's like, well, what did it look like an hour later? You know, from the Skunk Bay footage, we all know at a deep level that it changes continually throughout the day. And Travis, for that matter.
I'm guilty myself on not doing any time lapse or staying for more than an hour period of time doing the same observation, you know, over and over. So yeah, I'm guilty of that, but whatever. Interesting observation, Chris. Thank you for presenting it.
Do you think he might do that, Jose?
He might, yeah, he might.
No, not the example Chris is giving. Will you do some time lapses?
Yes, I will. Yes, I will, definitely.
Ace. Right, was that it? Wow, I thought that would develop a lot of Jose trolling, but clearly we've got the normal Jose back today.
No, it's good. Yeah, I mean, not knowing all the variables, you know, the distances, the heights, and all the stuff, it's just an interesting observation, not having all the details necessary. What I could see on the image, it appears to be the bottom one where you can see clearer. It appears to be a little higher, but not necessarily. Maybe in the top image where you couldn't see that much, maybe it's because the water was choppier, was windier, and all this mirage. Yeah, and the bottom one, the water just calmed down and it settled down, so you could see more. So yeah, I mean, good stuff.
But do you not think all that speculation would be washed away if you could see more than let's say, not even probably an hour at minimum? But, you know, ideally, you know, maybe 4 or 5 hours of what you get in that location based on the air temperature changes and potential tide changes depending on what you're looking over. You know, there's a whole bunch of different variables that you'd see in effect happening if you did time lapses rather than stills, or even, you know, a 2, 3, 4, heaven forbid, 10-minute long video. It's still only a tiny snapshot of what's going on at any given time of the day.
Yeah, as I say, I'm guilty of not doing that. I'm gonna start doing that. You know, just it's overwhelming when I go to a spot and I haven't been, or I've been. It's so much stuff to look around. But I could maybe take a minute video in one specific spot with specific zoom in a specific height, and then just take a little footage around, and then come back maybe 15, 20 minutes and take another minute video, go around. You know, I could do that. At least stay 2 hours if the camera allows me for the battery to run that long. I could do that at least a 2 hours comparison every 15 minutes.
Shout out to Unsalted667. I feel your pain, my friend.
But yeah, somebody keep telling me, Jose, how about that time lapse? You a-hole or whatever. And yeah, I haven't done it, but I will.
Yeah, it's nice to have the real Jose back talking about his actual observations and being reasonable about things, rather than asking about looping.
I had hyped earlier. I was a little trolly, but I'm good now. Right. I have my cigarette now.
You're straddling the line between one of us and one of them, Jose. No one's going to deny.
Did somebody say flip flop? What?
Well, it's just the nicer version of you is this version, right? The reasonable version, not the trolling version. Shout out to Defund NASA for the super chat. Thank you very much for your support. Really appreciate it. But yeah, this is the nicer person to deal with, Jose, on a personal level. Forget the subject matter being discussed. Sure, everyone will agree.
Appreciate it. We all got that troll spirit, Nathan, and sometimes it's like easier than other times. It is my take. And done with the Flutter debate now, talking trolls. Now, go ahead.
There's a few people in the chat saying what's going on. So this show will actually go out on the main channel on Friday. So if you're watching this on Nathan Oakley 1980 channel, this was actually streamed live yesterday. And the new material will be the pre-show and after show, which will be unaired material. So obviously, if you're watching this on Nathan Oakley 1980, presumably you've tuned in from the beginning and watched the pre-show. But after this show finishes, there'll also be an after show. Again, like I say, if you're watching on Nathan Oakley 1980. It's being streamed on Nathan Oakley, which is where people are currently watching it now. So then on Friday, I'll do 2 shows on this channel. Again, Nathan Oakley channel, live at the usual time. And then those shows will go out on Friday and Saturday. Sorry, on Saturday and Sunday on the main channel, Nathan Oakley 1980. So yes, on a Thursday for the second show and Friday for both shows, they will be live on my second channel. So absolutely, if you're watching this on Nathan Oakley 1980 and you're very keen to watch the show live, then subscribe to my second channel, Nathan Oakley. There is a link in the info box, and that is where these will be streamed, at least for the second show on a Thursday. The first one will go live on Nathan Oakley 1980, and then the 2 shows on Friday, as I won't do a show live on Saturday or Sunday. They'll go out, the repeated ones from Friday, respectively, on Saturday and Sunday. So as confusing as that may sound, given over the next few weeks it'll become more clear what's happening, but if you don't care, just stay subscribed to Nathan Oakley 1980, you'll get it all eventually. Or if you're very keen to watch live, make sure you subscribe to both channels. But it basically means, well, my wife's pregnant and due to give birth at any time, I want to keep the weekends free to do various things. So that may well change in the future, but for the time being at least, the live shows will go out on 2 different channels from Thursday, second show. Very confusing, I'm sure. But massive thank you to everyone who's joined us live.
Big shout out to Apollo. Apollo came in to say that they showed some beautiful globe evidence. Go ahead, Apollo.
You hope.
No, I just came on to check it out.
Fair enough. No pressure. We're not banking on you proving the globe here, Apollo. But everyone's entitled to their belief.
Of course.
Sosha King in the chat says, only trust small FE channels. Why? Why would the big channels be any less trustworthy? Not really following you there.
Because they earn money, so they are automatically a shield.
Smash the super chat, hit my Patreon, support me on PayPal. Check it out, timing. Shout out to Perth Force for the super chat. Really appreciate it, and your timing is excellent. Yeah, I'm here to earn money. So what? Doesn't change my passion for what I'm doing.
The plain truth not here today. I had him yesterday. I did a open hangout yesterday, testing how it works, and I like it. The OBS setup, and I had some interesting characters. Conspiracy Cat showed up, a guy named Mike, and then Michael was there, Zinder. So it was a good interaction. Zinder presenting some of the Timmy Osman observation and the plain truth debunking it on real time. It was good. I think I'm gonna do more of those open hangouts every once in a while.
You have got a full-on split personality, Jose. You're describing enjoying Travis taking apart Tim Osman's observations, right?
Yeah.
But you're a baller. Shouldn't that be heartbreaking?
No, it's good. I like this kind of interaction. If somebody presents something and I got the opposition trying to debunk it or whatever, I'll sit in the background and I'll watch. I enjoy it a lot. From Globe presenting and Flutter debunking, or Flutter presenting and the Globe debunking, I really like that part of the Flutter debate.
Are you just having more fun on the globe side then? Is it just more fun to troll flat earthers than it is to cooperate with them?
Yes. Sorry, what?
I think
no,
Jose
I-
just likes to see people being cracked down upon. He doesn't have any loyalties to either sides, really.
Is that true, Jose?
I like the interaction because I'm not a
Yeah,
big debater.
interaction of a very
And
specific kind. Of a very specific kind, though, because yeah, that type of interaction can be found in the flat Earth versus Waller community more than anywhere else.
Yeah, I'm
Well
not
said,
the
Arwen.
best. I'm not the best debater, or I don't have the semantics or the structural, way to speak and present my points. But if I have people talking, and me chiming in every once in a while, it's good. And yeah, I think some interesting characters will show up again in a brand new type of hangouts like back in the day, flatter debate type of thing. Really not interested in clicks or views, but it's fun to have people interacting in chat because I can bring questions if I'm bored, and it's in the download. I can bring questions to the panelists and just let it roll. I'll stay on mute the more time possible. I think I talk more in this show than in my actual little hangout.
What are you presenting, Apollo?
Pop boats. Yeah. Look at it go. Look at it go.
Holy shit!
Yeah, right.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Okay. Fine.
Holy shit! That's like the first steam-powered engine from antiquity or something.
I don't think so, Arwen.
Heck
That's a
yeah.
really good idea, Apollo. Because
That's
I'm thinking
amazing.
of finding I'm trying to find like a 1 mile body of water and throw a little remote control boat, tiny boat. Put my camera sitting in one edge in the water and send a little boat, a couple inches big. Send it to the other side. It should disappear in 1 mile, about 8 inches. So yeah, this is a good idea. Thank you.
Whoa. But yeah.
And that's fascinating. Absolutely fascinating that something so simple can do all that. Just we naturally underestimate the possibilities of the elements because we've been taught that science is so complicated and only what they say is possible should be possible. Well, this just shows that there is so much possible with so little. It's amazing. Thanks for sharing that, Apollo.
Oh, sure.
By the way, Nathan, is this streaming live anywhere? Because I don't see any.
Oh.
Did I not just literally... Did I not just go... Am I having amnesia? I thought I just went through this like 2 minutes ago. So yes, on a Thursday, the second live show will be on Nathan Oakley channel. And the reason is so that the second show can play out on the main channel on Friday. So it'll be a premiering stream with the never before seen pre-show and after show that we all just made. Obviously, we haven't made the after show yet. But that will go out on Nathan Oakley 1980 on Friday. And then on Friday, normal time, 2 PM UK time, I'll make 2 more shows on, again, Nathan Oakley channel, the one we're live streaming on now. And they will then go out on Saturday and Sunday on the main channel, which just means that there's still a show every day on both channels at the usual times, but it flips between the two just to free up my weekend. That's all. That's why I've done it. It's a bit complicated. It'll make sense with the passing of time.
No, because it didn't, like my subscribing list didn't show it for some reason. So
Right.
yeah, there was no live icon in front of the Nathan Oakley channel until I clicked onto it, and then it showed, oh, there's actually a live stream. So thanks YouTube for not showing that.
It's all
Makes a
good.
lot of sense.
Well, in a way, that's why I haven't necessarily plugged it in a big way, because the idea is that it does go out to a more limited audience. So the majority of the people who see it on the main channel tomorrow. So if you're watching this on Nathan Oakley 1980 right now, the day is Friday. This bit of the show, not all of it, but this bit of the show has been streamed before live on Nathan Oakley. But when I bid farewell to the live audience, which I'll do in, I don't know, half an hour's time, then the rest of the show will be unaired footage. So you'll still get new footage on Nathan Oakley 1980 tomorrow, which is today if you're watching it on Nathan Oakley 1980. It's Friday, right? It's not, it's Thursday. Hello, Sleeping Warrior.
Yo, yo.
Hey, welcome back.
Clear
buddy.
as mud, clear as mud.
So, what I miss?
Me going through my upload schedule, very boring.
Oh, and Apollo showing a classical era technology powered boat was
Oh, we
pretty
did
awesome.
get something much more exciting. So basically, Anthony, Jose's motivation to troll the living shit out of us is because it's far more amusing to be trolling Flat Earth than cooperating with Flat Earth, as conceded by Apollo and Jose. So it's just for fun. Basically, it's good fun trolling us.
So did you kick them then as a result?
Well, no,
I'm here, bro. I'm here.
I like that information. You go, okay, right, so it's just good fun trolling us. Okay, fine. I take it seriously. You know, that's how seriously the people who we deal with take this. It's just a joke. They're in the denial stage, basically. This is a joke. We'll just troll them. It's just a bit of fun. Okay, well, one day you'll realise you've been lied to on a massive scale. I already realised that.
The thing is, I think Jose realises he's been lied to, but for some reason he's got this bonding with somebody on the bowler side. Perhaps it's
He does.
Perhaps it's Curved Water. Perhaps it's anybody. But somebody out there is giving Jose a bit of love, and that's what he needs, because Jose needs to be loved, and that's what's happening.
Maybe it's M. Scott Veach who promised him a ride along on the space shuttle or something.
Curved Water is my cult leader.
Jose, if you ever wonder why I snap at you sometimes, because I take this shit seriously too. That's what it is.
I did too. That's why I'm here. I'm serious.
Yeah, today.
I mean, now, not earlier. Now, right?
Yeah, today is tomorrow. I just explained all this. God.
So, what was the conclusion on the science point?
What about it? Which bit? I'll make my conclusion happily. My conclusion is that science proves things, and we've been programmed and understand at a base level that science proves things. So when you've got something that isn't science and you say it's science, then people will think you've proven something. That's why it's done. Doesn't matter how complex the methodology gets to get to the stage where you say science or experiment or hypothesis when you haven't got any of them. Yeah? But the net effect is the same. People hear the word science or any language that's associated with the terminology of science and think you've proven something. So people have gone, that's useful. If I want to assert that a light in the sky is actually a gas in a vacuum, then I can do that. I just have to show them some piece of technology, show them some mathematics, and then say, science. Or in the case of Neil deGrasse Tyson, science is right whether you like it or not. Well, yeah, so he's making my point, isn't he? So you understand implicitly that science is correct. It's implicit. It's empirical. That's what Neil deGrasse Tyson's saying. And he's right. But then he goes on to say that light in the sky is a gas in a vacuum. Right?
Yeah. I think we just need to be a little bit more aware of pseudoscience, fake science, because it's clearly the case that there's plenty of fake science out there, because none of it's being proved that it's the cause of an effect. And then ultimately, if you can't prove it's the cause of an effect, that means you've got to have an effect in the first place. Then it's not science. It's just a story, fairy tales. Sounds good. Doesn't prove anything.
Yeah, and if the net result is an effect, it's like, well, aren't you supposed to be trying to prove the cause of that if you're doing science? Not declare, hooray, we've got a phenomena. That's the end result. It's like, no, shouldn't that be the starting point? Figuring out what causes that phenomena that you've observed? But no, that's not what we get.
Don't forget to give Nathan super chat. If you're giving a very juicy super chat, he might even kick Arwin off the show. Oh.
That's not true.
Whoa.
But yes,
Yeah,
$20 will get Jose kicked out. No, nobody's getting kicked out for super chat.
Let me just address them exposed in chat. He said, seen a lot of hate videos directed at me in the last few days. Well, that's probably because I'm pointing out that this unity, this group that we're in, this corner of the internet, this little corner known as Flat Earth, is infiltrated by controlled opposition that are deliberately trying to divide, avoid unity, and put walls up between people because they don't want a unified side that is capable of challenging this state or the controlling authority or whatever it might be. So the reality is, yeah, there is a lot of hate videos at the moment. Not really hate videos. They're just trying to discredit me at all costs, no matter what.
Shout out to Defund NASA for the super chat. He says, really? I think he's referring to Arwen getting kicked for $10.
It is live right now.
Who's live?
This.
Who?
This stream.
Yeah, this is live now, yeah.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Am I in a parallel universe here?
Yeah, this is now becoming parallel.
Yeah, I didn't see any live announcement.
Nathan, it's confusing. You haven't mentioned how the shows work. Is it live? Is it tomorrow? What is going on? I haven't heard you mention that at all. I'm just trolling you now.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you have said it like twice.
I'm not going to say it a third time. I'm going to resist.
Well,
A quick shout out. Hold on. A quick shout out. Somebody in chat. I read a message that they live in Largo, Clearwater, in Florida. I'm in this area, like 20 minutes from here. So type something in chat, and we can meet someday. Do observations together. Something fun.
So
is this live stream 747 then, or 748?
This is 747.
Oh yeah, I see it now. Oh wait, yes. All right.
So them exposed has added a second message that says Celtic 67 is one. I know why, Sleeping Warrior, just saying it's kicking off. I'm not sure what's kicking off, but all I'm going to say to the audience is if you see people that are doing hate videos for whatever reason, as credible as appealing as it may be to go and watch it, and sure, if I realise that there's something out there about me, I may well go and watch it. Just be aware that the people that are doing these types of hate videos, be it me or on Patricia or on anybody that's basically got nothing to do with the topic in question, these are the people that are here deliberately to divide, control, try and damage allegiances and alliances, to stop the formation of groups that are capable of challenging the state or the authority or whatever it is that's in control. They don't want unity. Now, unity doesn't mean that everybody agrees with each other. As Globebusters showed on Sunday, we don't all agree on this stuff. So if you're arguing or if you're doing a video based on just on hate, that's basically trying to cause problems. But basically, it would be more beneficial for the people that are genuinely on our side to highlight this division, the actual on-topic division that is valid, that we can all discuss and talk about, because the reality is, science is being hijacked by pseudoscience. So I would rather see content being created challenging the state on why we're all getting pseudoscience being presented to us as science. And if you disagree with me on that, then you do your hate video back. Tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about. Tell me where I've got it wrong. But if you're going to do a hate video based on whether or not you think I'm a girl or whatever, then that's kind of like, you're kind of the problem. So make it on topic and challenge. Make it off topic and you identify yourself as literally someone that's doing the divide and rule psychological warfare tactic. Because what is the purpose of doing it if you're not trying to divide? If there's a valid reason for why the scientific method is not being hijacked by pseudoscience or fake science, then maybe we've got it wrong. Maybe you should do a video. Or maybe you should do a video against science because we are getting this right. You've got to prove the cause of an effect. But if you're going to do it based on some off-topic nonsense, fine, do what you want. You're entitled to your opinion. Doesn't change the fact that you identify yourself as being one of these divide and rule people, because it's fine to disagree on topic. I disagree with Nathan frequently, maybe not on stream, and maybe I disagree with Arwen, maybe not on stream, and maybe it is on stream, but at least we're all trying to work out what's going on because we realise we've been lied to.
Talking about identifying yourself. So what I thought was quite amusing was even me, while sitting with you detailing this. So you went through all of the traits of this divide and conquer, and I listened. And on the panel, lots of people were trying to guess who you were talking about, and you were quite explicit. Oh, is that the right word? Probably not. You were quite cryptic in not saying who you were talking about specifically. And then afterwards, right, I'm going to have to name and shame you, I'm sorry, because it's just amusing to me. But basically, Dell, or people associated with Dell, said, obviously you're talking about Dell. Yeah. It's like, do you not realise what you're doing, right? He's detailing these tactics, and you're basically saying, well, Dell's obviously the person you're talking about, because he's guilty of all these tactics. You're like, oh my God, really?
Let me just contextualise this. I wasn't actually aiming it at Dell at the time, right?
No, but isn't that funny? The fact that people have come forward to say, you're clearly talking about Dell. It's obvious. It's not even subtle. You're like, right? So you think Dell's basically guilty of all of these things then? Oh, right. Isn't that interesting?
So the reality is I was aiming it specifically at like one or two people, right? And they know who they are because I'm in direct contact with them, indirect contact, indirectly with them by the videos. They know who they are. So for all those people that are asking, is he talking about Eric Dubay? Is he talking about Tim Osman? Then obviously, you've not either watched what's been happening recently, or you're not aware, or maybe you're questioning these people, these names that you've mentioned, right? Which is valid. You can challenge it on me as well. You can question whether or not I'm up to mischief by challenging, like causing whatever. But what I'm doing is showing the factors that influence this psychological warfare trait. I'm applying it against the flat earthers by showing that people that do these behaviors, it's an intentional act to try and weaken the stronghold that is unity, that is cohesion, that is groupthink, because they can't have unity, groupthink, cohesion. They have to have that decimated, because united we stand, divided we fall. If we're united, we will stand. You don't have to agree on all points, but if you're divided, then a little bloke in the back of his garden or whatever isn't going to have much of an effect, because you haven't got any support around you. So it's all well and good. It's all well and good, but it's not doing any favors.
Hey, Zinda.
I wouldn't call it groupthink, though. It's more like a camaraderie. It's group feel. Because we still conflict, we still disagree among one another, but as long as we just know, like, yeah, we're all in it, in Flat Earth, then we have this camaraderie, the group feel.
You're on by Spurs. How are you doing?
Hello. Good day.
Hello.
I've missed a couple of messages here. Let me just catch up with them. Exposed. Plenty of videos not on their side. No way. I heard your rant about the issue, so I'm not surprised it's going this way. You're correct. Just saying there are plenty of people hating. Yeah, there's plenty of people hating just because I'm showing the factors that are being in play right now, and basically we can all work out who it is. Now, I don't have to name any names. All I've got to do is identify the traits, put the name that goes with it, and then show what that trait does, what that intention is, and then you can work it out yourself. I don't have to name anybody. But if you want to name somebody, yeah, sure, you can think it might be Dubay or it might be Tim, but ultimately we can all tell who it is. So if you're not sure who it is, maybe you've not noticed them enough. They're not particularly big channels, but they're definitely there causing disturbances in one corner, and we can all see it if you really want to look. If you want to look, you can go and find it. There's enough hate videos about me at the moment. They are out there. So just go and see what the content of these hate videos are. And are they anything to do with the shape of the earth? No. Are they something to do with these characters and what's his intentions? Maybe, probably, definitely. So if it's questioning my motives or it's questioning why I'm doing something, well, the answer is because they're ignorant and they don't know the answer and they won't ask me. I'll tell you what I'm doing and why, but you've got to come on camera or come on microphone and ask me. I'm not going to engage in back and forth on chat on messages unless it's to do with the shape of the earth. And sometimes I do a little bit of trolling, but I'm definitely not going to be responding to a video that claims that I've come out of nowhere or that my dad was a policeman or whatever crap like that, because it's got nothing to do with the topic in hand. All I'm doing is exposing these people's traits and showing that these traits are an intentional act to try and weaken the alliance that we have, because they can't have unity. That makes us all strong. Even if we don't agree on all points and we disagree on the scientific method, for example, we're still united and we're still strong and we are still gaining momentum as a gang, as a unified group, and they don't like it. So yeah, keep making your hate videos. You just expose yourself.
Just to contrast what Anthony said, I take a totally different attitude, which is why I was pretty much oblivious to what Anthony was talking about the first time around. And that is to say, I don't go out looking for those videos. Actually, I currently actively avoid them, mainly through time restraints. You can chew up a lot of time. But yeah, I would say, you know, you have a happier life if you just don't bother going and looking for that. But that's obviously just to contrast what Anthony said.
Oh, so Them Exposed just said, I get you, Sleeping Warrior, and totally agree with what you said. It's a shitstorm coming aimed at this show. Well, they can bring a shitstorm. But what does this show talk about daily? Drama, right? But on topic. I don't know what shitstorm they can come in that's coming aimed at this show. The reality is we're just showing that there's no science. When Rumpus claims that the whole body of science, well, when you actually start looking into this whole body of science, 1, it's not science. 2, there's not that much of it. And 3, what they tell us that is science isn't science really, doesn't do what they say it does, and is basically indoctrination. So this whole body of science nonsense, that's what we're attacking. Are you going to come and attack us for attacking the establishment? Maybe you are. Bring it on. Let's see what you can do, because you don't scare me. You all know my address. My door's open to all of you at any time. 61 Acacia Crescent, Wigan. I ain't hiding from nobody.
So
do what you need to do.
One of the things you mentioned was that they seem to be, whoever they are, I don't know still, but whoever they are, you said they're attacking new people. So what's the score there? Any ideas?
Basically, Dolly Daydream, I came across her by Roxanne. She said she put up a group chat and she said, new person on the scene talking flat earth, go and give her a sub and give her a good comment, a positive comment. So I did. Went over there, checked out a couple of her videos, some of her shorter videos, just to see what she's about, what she's talking about and whatnot. And in the comments, I noticed that there was one particular person, didn't know him before, won't say his name, basically trolling hardcore, proper trolling. Where have you come from? Why have you come into flat earth? Do you think there's an ice wall? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, fucking hell, that's heavy trolling. She's just come to flat earth, right? And if that would have been me and I was getting this level of attack just because I've come into flat earth at this moment because this guy doesn't know where I've come from, I'd be feeling a little bit intimidated because I'd be thinking, bloody hell, what's going on here? So I read some of the back and forth that was happening with this idiot, and I strongly disagreed with his level of attack. So I attacked back. I didn't defend this person. I didn't know this person. I just I attacked back, saying, "Who do you think you are, talking to somebody new like that?" Now you can interpret that any way you want. I don't really care. But if that was against me, and while I was new into the topic, it would really put me off. Now, because I attacked back, the allegation was that this girl wasn't answering his questions. So I said, okay, because he was talking about the ice wall at the time. I said, okay. I said, is there a point, logically and reasonably, where we know that the sunlight can no longer melt the ice? And we all know that the answer, of course, is yeah. We know that Antarctica does have sunlight, but we know that it's not strong enough to melt the ice because it's whatever reason, right? But we know that there is a point where the sun can no longer melt the ice.
Why do you keep saying that?
Does that mean there's an ice wall?
Why are you performing magic here? What ice? What are you talking about?
Does that mean there's an ice wall? No. Does it mean that there could logically be one? Yes. Do we know? No. But do they know that there's not one? No. Does anybody really know what's going on about this topic? No. So the answer, the question that I asked him was, is there a logical, reasonable point where the sun can no longer melt the ice? And of course there is the answer, yes, we know that. But does it mean it's an ice wall? No. But if you can logically and reasonably conclude that there might be, and you've got the mechanism for it to happen, then you may have an ice wall. And that's all I was saying. But he never answered it. Yet his allegation, his criticism of this new person was, yeah, but I've asked her time and time and time again, where's she come from? Why is she here? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but you're not answering my question, are you? So pick on me instead. So he dutifully decided to pick on me. That's fine. You can dish out whatever hate you want. But ultimately, it doesn't change the fact that all you're doing is trolling for no good reason, off topic, not on topic. There's no valid criticism or discussion coming from you. You're just attacking people for whatever reason, probably to put them off. I don't know why you would do that. Shouldn't you be embracing people that are coming into Flat Earth, asking questions? These people are coming to it from other walks of life, whatever they may be. And just because you don't know what they are does not make it suspicious. If you are suspicious, I would say, why don't you try asking them? Build up a rapport with them. Have a back and forth. Ask the questions without being a dick. Because if you ask the questions whilst being a dick, you ain't going to get them answered. But that then means that you can then cry that someone's not answering my questions. Yeah, that's because you asked it like a dick. So anyone that's doing stuff like that, for me, you've got to look at why they're doing it. Because what is the benefit of attacking somebody that's new just because they just turned up on your doorstep at this moment? I was new at one time. I didn't come to Flat Earth I didn't come out the womb being a Flat Earther. I thought it was a ball at some point. We've all got to start somewhere.
Yeah,
Why don't you just ask them?
No.
What?
Yes, my head is hurting. You talk so much.
Shout out to King of Thrones as well. Boom.
You were
He says good things.
Yeah.
Only the trolls.
I love it, Riley. I love it.
Yeah,
Well,
keep it up.
Other than the ice wall bit, so you know, you spell casting, Anthony.
And what?
Spell
Ripping
casting.
on you, Nathan. go
Ice
ahead.
wall, ice wall. If I just keep asserting that we can logically deduce this ice wall, and then pay lip service to the what ice wall point that I make, and then reassert the ice wall about 3 more times.
All I'm saying is that there is a point that the sun could no longer melt the ice.
What ice?
Does that mean there's an ice
what
wall?
ice?
How do
That's
you know?
There's your spell. That's the spell I was talking about.
That's
what
fine.
ice?
Logically and reasonably, it is there, right?
Is
Well,
it?
there is a
No.
ice wall. How do you know it has to do with the sun and its supposed reach?
Well,
in
we know
heat?
that the sun melts ice, and we know that if we're told that there's enough ice down in Antarctica, certainly that it either
Right,
forms a continent.
So you're proposing a formological fallacy.
Correct.
Sun
No,
melts,
I'm just
hold
saying.
on. A sun melts ice. Antarctica ice wall not melting, therefore not enough sun. That's a formological fallacy.
I'm saying that there is a logical and reasonable, but not evidenced, point where the sun can no longer melt the ice.
What ice?
Now, if you're going to say
what ice?
If
what
you're going to
ice?
say that
what
doesn't
ice?
prove
What
ice,
ice? What ice? What ice? What ice? What ice?
and I'm with. I agree with you. It doesn't prove that there's an ice wall there, but it at least proves that the possibility of one being there is. Because then you've got to have the conversation about, well, what does the sun do? Does it circle us, or are we on some kind of rectangular looping map? But that's not my point. My point is simple. There is a point that the sun can no longer melt the ice, and we know that there's enough ice down there in Antarctica. The question is it a continent like an island, or is it the outer ring? Who knows? But what I do know is that we have legislation in the UK that stops you from going below the 60th parallel. I've looked it up. I've checked it. The Antarctica Treaty doesn't no longer exist in England. It's been superseded by a more recent act. But you're not allowed to go below the 60th parallel for whatever reason. And my wondering is, well, why would you not be able to do that? It is in law. We can get prosecuted for it. And all I'm saying is it is logical and reasonable, but it doesn't mean that it's there. What I'm saying is it's possible. So it could be, but we don't know that it's not.
It
Before
could
Nathan
also
jump
be a
in,
straight line wall.
I know Nathan is willing to chime in.
Hold on, Jose. That's an argument from ignorance fallacy. We don't know that there's not an ice wall down there? Really? Come on, Anthony, you can do better than this.
No, I agree. It's an argument from ignorance, but I was countering the criticism that was labelled this going the other way against this new person. I wasn't saying it was true. I was just saying, is there a logical and reasonable explanation that may account for an ice wall? And the answer is yes. Does it actually exist? We don't know. So what I'm saying is
that's the point.
Back off with the heavy line of
Hold on. I have seen a lot of footage of ice walls. I think from deducing from that footage, which doesn't see it's including old footage, there is definitely an ice wall. But to assume that it is in some specific shape or that it is even perfectly continual, that is where we don't know.
I can't quite believe what I'm hearing. So what you're saying is someone shows you a picture of a ridge of ice, and based on that, you're happy to conclude that there's a ring of ice around the entire continental structure of our known world?
No.
Oh my God.
You jump in the gun. You jump in the gun. All I'm saying is we don't know if there is or is not one, but we know that there is a point that the sun can no longer melt ice. So if that is the case, that it can't get to everywhere and it happens to be a flat plane, there has to be an ice wall, unless, of course, it's a ball, in which case there might not be. But my point overall is we don't know, and the only way we're going to know is by getting below that 60th parallel and heading out on a particular angle where there shouldn't be any ice wall. And if you find an ice wall, then there you go. But it doesn't mean that there's an ice wall. I'm just trying to get this troll to back off on the attack that he's given her based on, well, what are you doing here? You're not answering my questions.
Hang
ice
on a
wall.
second. Does she think there's an ice wall?
I have no idea.
Because if so, get her! No, I'm only joking.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Nathan Gleam says that University of Cambridge confirmed that 95% of Antarctica coastline is ice wall. Yeah, but is it going outside the edge of a rim, or is it on the inside? Is it on the inside of a rim, or is it on the outside of an island?
Why
Riley, you were in this spot
why
like
have we got these
5
two
months
choices?
ago.
Why have we got these two choices again? why those are options? I don't really understand. Why am I being given this false dichotomy?
Well, there has to be something that we find when we carry on floating in a boat, right? It's either going to be you'll float back round on a ball, or you won't.
So unicorns.
Yeah, or we're going to drift onto another island.
What about the
It
wall
might
of?
be a hologram.
What about the wall of unicorns? It could be a unicorn wall, right? Could be.
Nathan, you do understand that when I was making the point I was making, I wasn't asserting it to be true. I was simply saying that it could be an ice wall. We just do not know. That doesn't mean I'm saying it is. I'm just saying it could be.
All right.
But
I
it could
agree
be.
to that.
Yeah, but
It's speculation.
I can just say anything's possible, right? Can't I? But by saying it could be an ice wall, you are in fact making that assertion, Anthony, whether you like it or not.
No, I'm spitballing, Nathan. I'm not making assertions. I'm spitballing. Well, again, in this context, I wasn't arguing that there really was an ice wall. I was just trying to point out to this particular troll that he was trolling hard for no good reason, probably on a point that she never even made. Maybe she did make it, but the point is that he was being very heavy-handed on somebody that was brand new to the topic, and I said, pick on me instead, and he never picked on me instead. Not in comments anyway. He then went to start making videos about me, but which I'm fine with. He's entitled to his opinion. If he thinks that I'm a dick, then that's fine. But at least think I'm a dick about something that I've done on the topic. I deserve it if I'm wrong. You know, I'll put myself out there. It's part of the territory. But my point was to back off on this new person because there was no need for this high level of trolling, and that's all I was doing.
If you are watching this on the Nathan Oakley 1980 stream, then stay tuned as there will be an after show to follow. But if you're watching this on the Nathan Oakley channel, then this will be the point that we bid you farewell and say a massive, huge, enormous thank you for tuning in and hopefully sharing this live debate. Also, a massive thank you to all of the debating panel for making this live debate possible. Be sure to like, comment, share and subscribe. Check out the forum on nathanoakley.com. I've been Nathan Oakley and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!